Susan. You're fired.
Hello, dear viewers. Today's video is about, hands down, in my personal opinion, the best villain ever in all of comics. He is the only successful one when you really think about it. That's right, it's Dr. Doom, one of the greatest Marvel villains. I'm Andrew Lapamardo, your narrator, and this is Marvelous Videos. Created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby in 1962, Victor Von Doom, the smartest of all Marvel villains, debuted in Fantastic Four issue number 5. He has been the arch-nemesis of the Fantastic Four, and also opposed or battled Iron Man, Hulk, Spider-Man, and even the Avengers. In the history of Marvel Comics, Dr. Doom has been the evilest villain ever. He is a perfect combination of immense superhuman strength and superior intellect. He became the ruler of Latveria, for which he has always managed to stay free of the judicial repercussions of his actions. He is so powerful that he has once managed to fight off Cyclops bearing the Phoenix Force, and Black Panther wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. His powers are equivalent to that of the Sorcerer Supreme. Despite being the most interesting villain for Marvel Comics, Dr. Doom has yet to receive a proper appearance in the movies. So, let us explore this interesting villain from the Marvel Universe without further delay. Before we get into the explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click from you, but means a lot to us. Thank you. Let's begin.
Nice.
How he became Dr. Doom. Victor Von Doom was born in a Romanian camp in Hassenstadt, Latveria. Cynthia, his mother, was murdered due to a botched pact with Mephisto. A noblewoman died despite his father's efforts to care for her, and Warner Von Doom escaped on a bitter winter night with a young Victor. Victor made it through the cold, but his father didn't. Doom desired to learn more about science and magic in order to save his mother, whose death he blamed on Mephisto. Victor had a crush on a girl named Valeria when he was younger, but she turned him down. Victor was awarded a scholarship by the State University of New York in Hegman, New York. He meets Reed Richards and Ben Grimm for the first time while taking courses there. They grew to loathe one another, prompting Reed Richards to conduct his first prank, altering Victor's last name on a trophy to Doof. Doom grew fascinated with creating a gadget that could project a being's astral form into other realms, believing that doing so would allow him to rescue his mother's soul from Mephisto's grip. Reed pointed out a mistake in Doom's computations, but Doom dismissed his warnings, believing Reed was trying to outdo him, most likely owing to the animosity for each other. The machine detonated, leaving a scar on Doom's face. He was quickly dismissed for carrying out immoral tests. From there on, he blamed Reed Richards for his face's damage and his expulsion. Doom traversed the world, disgraced and furious. He eventually stumbled into a tiny Tibetan community of monks who helped him make a set of armor. He returned to his country of Latveria to depose the ruler and establish himself as king. He then exploited his country's resources to pursue his goals for global dominance. Doom's machinations brought him into a confrontation with the Fantastic Four and a slew of other superheroes. His infamous first appearance in a Fantastic Four comic book explored. Johnny compares Ben to the Hulk while reading an article on the Incredible Hulk. Ben snatches the comic, but Johnny burns it. Reed and Sue intervene before they exchange punches. Despite their emergency generator, the lights went out. In a helicopter, Dr. Doom throws a net over the Baxter building. Reed knows Doom's voice when he calls out to them. Victor Von Doom, an old college buddy. Doom was dismissed from the university after an experiment in which he attempted to converse with the dead, but instead triggered an explosion. Doom demands Sue as a hostage, which she agrees to by jumping to the roof. Doom binds and gags the invisible girl and transports her on board his spacecraft. He then asks the remainder of the Fantastic Four board his ship and promise not to fight him. The Thing agrees by putting out a flare. Doom encases Reed Reed, Ben, and Johnny in a cage and transports them to his castle. When he arrives, he informs them that he has created a time machine and that they must collect Blackbeard's treasure trove from the past. They must agree, with Sue as Doom's captive. Doom activates the time platform they were unknowingly standing on by pressing a button. They emerge in a harbor and see two brigades squabbling over a stolen package of garments. Ben frightens them away. They conceal themselves with the attire, including a thick black beard for Ben. They head to a bar in search of someone from Blackbeard's crew. Two pirates order the barmaid to give the poisoned grog to the outsiders. Reed, Ben, and Johnny awaken in the hold of a pirate ship. Ben crashes through the deck and, with the aid of Johnny and Reed, subdues the whole crew. Ben takes leadership and tells his men to strike when another ship comes. Johnny continues to flare, harassing the opposing ship and creating a cloud of steam. Reed acts as a gangplank to the other ship, which their crew must cross. A quick battle breaks out, while Reed and Johnny retrieve a treasure chest from the hold. The crew recognizes Ben as Blackbeard. Reed empties the chest, reminding Johnny that they just pledged to return Blackbeard's chest, not the riches, and replaces it with shackles. On deck, they discover Ben is the legendary Blackbeard. He refuses to accompany them and orders the crew to drench Johnny, drape Reed in a sail, and cast them adrift in a lifeboat. However, before they can launch the boat, a massive water spout strikes and destroys the ship. Reed and Johnny make it to shore and discover Ben and the box. The time platform emerges from above them, bringing them back to the present. Doom claims that the treasure contains stones enchanted by Merlin, which will make him invincible. When he opens the chest, he realizes that he has been duped, allowing Ben to strike. A single punch shatters the armor as well as the equipment within. It's a machine. In another castle area, the real Doom activates a screen and tells them he will drain the air from their room. Sue, who is still his prisoner, sees an opportunity. She becomes invisible and short-circuits his control panel, causing it to explode. Doom has been caught in the blast. She dashes into the chamber and unlocks the door. Rather than confronting Doom, who Reed believes has traps hidden everywhere, they opt to flee. Reed extends over the moat via a window. Ben pushes the portion of the wall open as Reed pulls, and Johnny utilizes atomic heat to make his way across the crocodile-infested moat. Doom flees with his rocket-powered flying harness after Johnny sets fire to the castle. Johnny's flames die before he can grab Doom. Some of the worst things that Dr. Doom has done. Dr. Doom is one of the Fantastic Four's most formidable adversaries. He's so awful that his horrific deeds may be graded. Dr. Doom is one of Marvel Comics' most heinous villains. He has done things that should be unforgivable, yet he's essentially free since he is the king of his own country. He has killed, ruined other countries, and almost launched world wars. Yet he survives to fight another day, seldom experiencing penalties for his acts. Dr. Doom is the king of Latveria, and most of his subjects adore him. There have been times when people rose up against him, but they were quickly crushed, and Doom always returns to power in the end. Nobody goes hungry in Latveria, and everyone has a place to live. But the country remains impoverished as long as Doom reigns supreme. These people are subject to Doom, who protects them, but will exterminate them if they cross his path. Marvel decided to make a dramatic overhaul in the mid-1990s and began a period known as Heroes Reborn. Earth's heroes faced onslaught in this, and the Fantastic Four and the Avengers perished in order to defeat him. However, they did not perish and awoke on a new Earth, all with fresh beginnings and tales. Dr. Doom was also present. Franklin Richards' creation was Counter-Earth. The heroes eventually departed to return to the actual Earth, but Doom attempted to disrupt them. He failed and wound up back to Counter-Earth, which he conquered and ruled over. Dr. Doom craves greater power and is prepared to support any plot to obtain it. He has his own nation, Latveria, but he is also interested in other conquest. Because of its vibranium supply, Wakanda is one of the most technologically sophisticated countries on the planet. Doom desires it and began the Doom War, in which he manufactured nanites to spy on Wakanda. He eventually broke in to steal the vibranium, causing Black Panther to do the unimaginable and declare all Wakanda vibranium inert and useless. Tommy and Billy set out to find their mother, the Scarlet Witch, in Young Avengers, the Children's Crusade. They thought she was alive, but hiding for her own protection since the X-Men wanted to punish her for M-Day. They discovered her with Dr. Doom. Wanda had amnesia, and it quickly became clear that Doom was assisting in keeping her safe, and the two were to marry. Doom was only interested in gaining her powers, therefore everything was a ruse. Doom had murdered Scott Lang's daughter Cassie. By the time it was all over, Victor Von Doom duped Asgard. The country drifted above Oklahoma until the events of Siege, when Norman Osborn devised a scheme that permitted the United States to assault Asgard. Loki persuaded Asgard to relocate to Latveria to be under Doom's protection. This was a huge blunder. Doom proceeded to kidnap several Asgardians and experiment on them in order to uncover the source of their immortality, maiming many of them in the process. Thor is finally returned to his people to save them. Victor Von Doom eventually fulfilled his lifelong aim in the Marvel comic novel Emperor Doom. He took over the entire planet. To do this, he kidnapped the Purple Man, a criminal he knew might assist him. Kilgrave had no option but to allow Doom to use him to mentally force every country on Earth to call him Emperor, when he discovered he couldn't control Doom. Wonder Man was the only one left surviving, and he proceeded to liberate his colleagues one by one, until Doom eventually gave up, bored with his win. Dr. Doom hunts Reed Richards. It grew so terrible that Reed resolved to do the unthinkable. He set out for Latveria to finally eliminate Dr. Doom once and for all. Reed then murders Victor Von Doom and casts him into hell. Reed Richards begins to lose his sanity as a result of this awful decision, and he mistakenly frees Doom's spirit from hell, allowing him to control the Thing. As a result, Reed did the unimaginable. He murdered the Thing in order to slay Doom. The good news is that the Fantastic Four journeyed to heaven to resurrect Ben. Dr. Doom has no qualms about murdering humans. He is, nonetheless, fiercely protective of those he cares about. He even went so far as to put his soul in jeopardy in order to save his mother. Victor appeared to be turning the corner when he assisted in the survival of Susan Richards and her daughter, Valeria. Doom's life returned to normal until he vowed to find Valeria's namesake, the only woman he ever loved. Then he sacrificed the lady to the Hazareth 3 in order to receive magical abilities that would allow him to blend magic and science to become more powerful. When Reed Richards murdered Dr. Doom, he banished him to hell. But Doom accomplished something far worse. He went for Reed's son Franklin instead of merely extracting retribution by doing something to Reed directly. Dr. Doom used his newly acquired magical abilities to imprison Franklin Richards, a little kid, in hell. While the Fantastic Four were able to save the boy, he remained traumatized by the ordeal for a long time. In 2015, an incursion occurred, causing the multiverse to perish. The last two Earths to exist collided, apparently wiping out all life save for a Triskelion, transporting a few remaining heroes. The Triskelion arrived on the incursion's aftermath, a new planet where Dr. Doom was God, and everyone worshipped and followed his command or feared a fate worse than death. Why is Dr. Doom so deadly? Dr. Doom's mother exposed him to the magical arts. He honed his skills further by traveling across time and studying forgotten dark arts from people like Morgana Le Fay. Doom is one of the individuals deemed acceptable to replace Doctor Strange as Sorcerer Supreme of Earth when he stepped down. However, the majority of his abilities came from the Hazareth 3, and when he angered them, the majority of his wizardry was taken, and he was imprisoned in hell as punishment. Doom's magical knowledge was limited to modest Earth magics. Doom has the ability to summon legions of evil monsters. Doom had the ability to travel to various realms, including Dreamtime. Doom has the ability to cure himself and those who have been injured. Doom has the ability to generate a snowstorm in seconds. Victor stated that after being transported to the start of time by the Marquise of Death, he spent a century altering his body and mind, mastering long-lost dark arts. As a consequence, he was able to employ noteworthy telekinesis, as well as lift himself. Doom has often used magic to thwart the Fantastic Four's abilities. Doom has mastered various modest psychic talents during his past. Those abilities stem from his encounters with aliens and mutants, who he refers to as the Ovoids and the Marquise of Death. The following abilities, on the other hand, are often thought to be part of Doom's arsenal. He has achieved the capacity to exchange his mind with that of any other nearby human being with whom he has established eye contact through training with an alien species, a method he learnt from the extraterrestrial ovoids. Doom once swapped bodies with the Human Torch. Doom, on the other hand, likes his own body and only employs the transference capability as the last option. Doom has the ability to mesmerize people like he did with a Kraken on Counter-Earth. Doom has technopathic influence over some machines, most notably the Doombots. But he can also manipulate other technology, including his suit's charger, which he describes as latent telepathy. Dr. Doom's most lethal weapon is his mind. He is one of the most brilliant mortal minds on the Earth. Ben Grimm was even healed from his thing form by Doom. Doom has built hundreds of inventions, including the functional time machine, devices that infuse individuals with abilities, and several forms of robots. His Doombots, mechanical copies of himself, are his most commonly employed robots. They have his appearance, his voice, and even his demeanor. Doombots have a powerful AI that leads them to assume that they are the true Doom. As a precaution, each Doombot contains dampening software that is activated anytime the actual Doom comes close. These body duplicates arise when Doom is unable to be present or is hesitant to sacrifice his own life, and they are frequently responsible for Doom's apparent resurrection from death. The Servo Guard, Latveria's police force, is another prevalent form of a robot. Doom specializes in physics, robotics, cybernetics, genetic, material sciences, weapons technology, biochemistry, and time travel at all levels. He is also gifted in the areas of leadership, strategy, politics, and manipulation. He has been shown as a brilliant electrical and mechanical engineer, respected by Tony Stark, and an inspired theorist with deep knowledge of multiple worlds and realities, and even a skilled neurosurgeon, having surgically separated Hulk from Bruce Banner. His knowledge spans almost every scientific discipline, and his intellect is reputed to be as rapid as a sophisticated computer. Doom was apparently trained in martial skills by monks during his stay in Tibet. He is an expert in a wide range of fighting methods, both armed and unarmed. He was taught by the finest swordsmen on the planet and can do very strong nerve strikes. His combat abilities are so impressive that he was able to kill a lion with his bare hands, blend in with Daredevil while wearing his costume, and wield Captain America's shield as defiantly as Steve Rogers himself. He was also able to beat Black Panther in close combat, despite the fact that his suit was depowered, and incapacitate Taskmaster in pure hand-to-hand battle without the use of technology or magic. Doom's body has been trained to the level of the best human athlete. He's well-built, quick, and nimble. He also has demonstrated excellent reflexes and balance. Victor once said that he has been physically preparing and developing himself for years in order to meet the demonic monsters sent by Mephisto during their yearly battle. His physical strength and endurance rivals those of Daredevil. Doom possesses incredible tenacity, boldness, and willpower. He does, in fact, have the strongest will on the planet. As a result, he was able to resist psychic attacks from Emma Frost and the Purple Man, using only his will. To reject the mystical armor that the Soul's Word provides the wielder on the basis of sheer willpower alone. And to refuse to let a single audible indication of pain exit his mouth while tortured in hell. Doom's resolve was even godlike, since after stealing the Beyonder's omnipotent talents, he was capable of building a complete new planet from the debris of an incursion point between collapsing planets. The new planet was Battleworld. With his will, he kept his planet together. Dr. Doom has access to technical and military hardware as the monarch of Latveria. He also commands conventional military troops. See Dr. Doom's generals for more information. Even when his intentions fail, Doom is able to garner people's favorable interest, particularly the populace of Latveria. He is also a talented politician and strategist who has commanded a number of teams, including the Cabal and the Fantastic Four. Dr. Doom, being the head of a sovereign nation, frequently travels to the United States or the United Nations for political reasons. During these journeys, he has diplomatic immunity, and his embassy is designated foreign soil. He's even been accompanied by Captain America. He most likely lost his position as ruler of Latveria after relinquishing it. Doom has been proven to be skilled with a sword, having been trained by the greatest masters, until he defeated them all, and being able to outduel Warlord Krang in swordsmanship. Victor is an expert in the use of weaponry, especially his own inventions, such as combat suits, ray weapons, and explosives. But he also uses rifles, firearms, and grenades with amazing accuracy. He has also demonstrated his ability to pilot such vehicles as the excavator, the gyroscopic aircraft, the Doom Cycle, and the Doomcopter. Conclusion. With all that known, the need for a live-action version of Dr. Doom is in dire need. We all can agree that the 2005 Fantastic Four had a lot more to give to the character of Dr. Doom. And so did the 2015 remake. Now that Marvel has tapped into the multiverse, we can surely expect the experiment conducted by Madam Web, where she makes Spider-Man assist a team of superheroes against a group of villains including Dr. Doom, or any proper exploration of this villainous character. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
To quote a friend of mine, it's clobbering time.